Hi there, everyone. It is currently the 8th of September 2011, and several areas out here in the tropics we are monitoring closely today. Starting off with Tropical Storm Kulap here. It is actually just southeast of the Ryuku Islands, very dispersed from the center of circulation as far as the convection is concerned. Actually, the center of circulation is located right in this region, not down here where you're seeing all this higher convection. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but I also do want to mention Invest 91 whiskey. Now, this one looks like it does have a pretty decent chance for development here in the near future. It's actually starting to spin up here, seeing some circulation in the cloud cover, and also Invest 92 whiskey down here in the South China Sea, and a lot of models are picking up on that system as well. But first, I do want to dive into Tropical Storm Kulap, or 17W here. This is a picture actually taken at 0Z this morning, or about 0900 Japan Standard Time, and just showing what we were showing on the IR imagery was right down in here, this high amount of convection down here in the southeastern periphery of the system. But low clouds are really hard to indicate on infrared imagery because they're much warmer than those higher and colder cloud tops. But if we look at visible imagery and just showing the reflection of the light off of these clouds, you actually do see a fairly defined center of circulation here. It's actually a pretty good circulation, about 30 to 35 knots actually here in the southeastern periphery, indicated on satellite derived winds shown here. But this also shows that the system is well away from that center of convection, but there is a really good circulation amidst the system, thus close circulation, 35 knot winds or above, so it still is being deemed a tropical storm. But overall, my thought process on this system has a lot changed since yesterday. Yesterday I was actually expecting rapid intensification with it, but since it has become completely exposed, all these higher cloud tops are completely gone, really no precipitation in the midst of this. It's losing a lot of its latent heat, and only the convection is located down here in the southeastern periphery. So despite the fact it is in some high sea surface temperatures, it has seen an increase in vertical wind shear, and also just noting out ahead of this system, there is some good outflow aloft, but really that's just being enhanced down here towards the south yet again. So don't expect this to really get any stronger than a weak tropical storm, about 30 to 35 knots, tropical storm intensity, and that's basically in line with what JMA is forecasting max intensity on the system. As shown here, JMA with 1000 HPA for the pressure on this, about 35, gusting up to 50 knots, and they're not expecting to get any stronger. Do note they have shifted the track here just northeast of Okinawa, still towards the Ryuku Islands down here, but due to the fact this does not have a wide wind field at all, actually only about 50 miles across, and the fact it is moving northeast of Okinawa, we probably could not see anything above about 20 knots here in Okinawa. So really good news given this newer track. Also, yesterday I noted there was an area of high pressure up here towards the northeast. It does not look like that retrograded as quickly as originally forecasted. Thus the track a little bit farther off towards the northeast here. And then after it moves past the Ryukyu Islands, likely it's going to recurve as it hits an upper level trough located over Korea, likely at that time. And JTWC is still picking up on that, basically recurvature here up towards Korea, but also they're noting they're maxing out intensity of 50, gusting up to 65 knots. So pretty much a moderately to strong tropical storm they're expecting with this. Yet they have been gradually decreasing in intensity, and I would not be surprised if this system does not get above or at least as high as this max intensity is being shown here. But still several days to be shown on this, and with the rapid intensification of this system, and if as it quickly formed up over about a 24-hour period, that change in intensity could change, or that change in the forecast could change here in the coming days as this system becomes more defined, and if it does start to see more convection build in the middle or around the center of circulation. But at least as of today, that does not seem the case. But the one thing that is in line with a lot of the model outlooks here is the fact that this will drift just northeast of Okinawa. Wind field will remain rather small, and it doesn't look like this is going to be a high precipitation storm, but it does look like most of the models are in line of this moving off towards the northwest. Now I also do want to mention this is Invest 91 whiskey right down in here, and a lot of the models are picking up on this moving off towards the west, south of that subtropical ridge that we were talking about yesterday, located right up in here, and looks like this is actually going to go along the southern and then eventually the western periphery if it does form up, and it does look like it does have the potential to form up. A lot of the major models, this is CMC, No Gaps, and GFS all agreeing on development on this system, with Invest 92 whiskey out here in the South China Sea, and a lot of the models are also in agreement on possible development development of this one while it moves off towards the north-northwest towards Vietnam or Hainan or southern China here. Looks like most of the models are in consensus of it going well west of Hong Kong, but still it could be a potential rainmaker throughout this entire region. So several areas in the tropics right now and nothing really too severe at this moment, but really it looks like this place is a tinderbox as of right now and definitely just waiting on a match to possibly get struck in any of these systems. But as of for right now, high pressure does continue to dominate much of Korea and over into Japan. Really good for the recovery efforts out here in southern Japan, mainly due to the fact that we're continuing to see damage reports out of there. Actually, the death toll due to tunnel loss up to 50 now, and still over 50 people continuing to be missing due to the large amount of mudslides and heavy and exceptionally record-breaking rainfall that occurred with tropical storm or typhoon Talas as it crossed the country last week. So still continuing to hope for fair weather. It does look like Tropical Storm Kulap will remain well southwest of the main islands up here, and hopefully just fair weather does continue to dominate as that high pressure, as indicated earlier, continues to ridge in over much of the country. So that is all for right now, though, everyone. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them here at westernpacificweather.com or at the YouTube channel. So thanks again. Stay safe out there, everybody, and I will have another update tomorrow.